Today's horoscope from Astro Academy, Cancer, January 10, 2023. There can be a sudden need to shuffle your priorities, as your attention turns to your home front and personal plans with a full moon in your solar 4th house. There could be an event that demands your attention, and work may have to wait. Or you recognize a strong need to center yourself and connect with what's familiar and comforting. It's therapeutic. This lunation tends to stir deep feelings, new awareness, and appreciation for your personal life, loved ones, and home life. It might also bring a problem area to light for handling. Don't reject your loved one if he or she asks the dreaded question, "What's wrong with you today?" If your only answer is a short "nothing," accompanied with a face as long as a fiddle, you will only stir up the anger of your partner. There is no shame in owning up to your bad mood and irritability. Of course, you will be asked about the reasons for it. But to have a person whom you trust and are able to talk to can be a gift. What do you need to revise? Something might pop up that will throw you for a loop when the Sun in Capricorn conjuncts Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. The conjunction suggests that a comment or conversation could cause a little bit of ruckus in your career path. Perhaps a mistake becomes publicized, making you look bad or causing you to feel insecure in yourself. You may feel like a private conversation becomes a little too well known. Even a desire or wish could come back that gives you food for thought about where your career is heading. At the same time that the Sun is separating from a friendly aspect to Uranus in your income sector, in retrograde motion Mercury is moving back into the same aspect. This comes just as the Sun and Mercury align in your career sector, and with Uranus already in retrograde motion, this is putting the solar spotlight on not just new and untapped professional and income potential but the link between the two. Your own health is the greatest investment you will make in your life. How have you been doing so far? What are your plans for the future? If you haven't thought about your health as an investment, it's time to start. What other asset have you got that affects every single waking hour? Consider breath. How you breathe affects your sleep, your digestion, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you make love. Need I say more? Yoga also helps a great deal. This is a good day for quiet reflection on the new projects and directions in your life. Days like today are best enjoyed in a quiet surrounding, as they tend to lend themselves to the more serious side of life. Utilize this time to your advantage by engaging in some introspection to gain greater insight into yourself. By applying your energies to the projects at hand instead of starting something new, you will find you are more capable of completing them. Just a week into 2023, there is real change in the air. Already, as Venus spends her first weekend in your friendship sector and Mars his last in retrograde motion in your communication sector, they are coming together. So too are the Sun and Mercury, as they align in your career sector to turn any pressure from past full moon into motivation, and especially the motivation to work smarter. At the same time, the moon's first visit to a playful part of your chart for the year is an invitation to embrace the weekend spirit. Returning for its first visit to your romantic sector for the year over the weekend makes the moon's return today a case of perfect timing. On the heels of a full moon brought some timely work and life balance reminders. There are no excuses when it comes to embracing today's romantically charged lunar vibes. This comes just as the communication and relationship gods are also working together. Our eyes in the sky. Mercury retrograde in Capricorn and Uranus retrograde in Taurus unite today. Contrary to popular belief, this planetary connection can bring clarity to matters and allow us to see situations from a different perspective. The world seems larger, clearer, and lovelier when we look at it from a million miles away with no judgment. If you have news to share, now is the time to express yourself. You will be heard and seen by those you love. You may feel unusually cross or ill-tempered during this time. Emotions loom large and seem practically unmanageable. Your body seems to have a mind of its own. Cravings may feel too strong to push aside. This is perfectly natural. One useful herbal remedy for this feeling is chamomile tea. Chamomile is known as the baby remedy, for it soothes a cranky baby and restores balance after a fever. You may drink the tea or actually put tea bags in your bath. While a friendly aspect between Venus in your career sector and Mars in your income sector won't peak until tomorrow, they are already in harmony and at an important time for both. Venus is forging a path for the Sun to follow when he returns in 10 days, and that includes connecting all the dots across the income, work, and career fronts. With Mars slowing ahead of his direct turn in 4 days, as the planet of money, Venus is the perfect planet to exploit both untapped income potential and to prepare for the turnaround ahead. While the Moon is still 2 days away from its first visit to your romantic sector for the year, as it will then go on to make its first visit to your relationship sector for the year just a few days later, there are some important days coming up on both fronts. This makes today's clash between the Moon and Venus today and any work and life balance issues. This might expose the right reminder at the right time. After sunup, the Leo Moon opposes Venus in Aquarius, stimulating insecurity. We feel distant from others, even if we are in a room full of people. Failing to achieve the validation we desire can cause us to showboat for attention. Naturally, this only further damages our self-confidence. The real issue now is not that others do not value us, it's that we do not value ourselves. Take the energy you would put into people-pleasing and invest it instead in the creative pursuits that bring you joy. If we make our own happiness, people will flock to us in order to be a part of it. Before noon, the Moon sextiles retrograde Mars in Gemini, helping us to cooperate with others. If we've chosen a creative pursuit to busy ourselves with during the Moon-Venus opposition, this influence will help us to sink into our passion project and achieve success in this venture. However, this aspect is not just about achieving accolades. It is about the internal gratification we attain for doing something that has merit to us. It is about being brave enough to see our efforts through despite the odds. The Moon's first visit to a fun, playful, romantic and creatively charged part of your chart for the year is both some light relief after the heaviness that the full moon of the last few days brought and a chance to put its work-life balance reminders into practice. This was a full moon that will always fall at some point during the Sun's month-long visit to your career sector, and it came when this new professional year was already getting off to a good start. Following on from that, today's playful lunar vibes are another reminder that life can't be all work and no play. The Moon's first visit to your romantic sector for the year has already got off to a good start thanks to its friendly aspect to Jupiter in Aries yesterday. The Moon will also form the same aspect to the asteroid Eris, just as the warrior princess of the cosmos has come to a standstill in her final days in retrograde motion. This is highlighting the new and old doors that are open.